Hi, everyone. This is Ron, and this is the first in what I hope is going to be a long running series of me critiquing and giving suggestions to other sellers' Fiverr pages. And I'm only going to do that for those who request it and give me permission to do this. I'm never going to go in a Fiverr and just kind of critique. So this person, for this first episode, this person contacted me on Facebook and asked if I could review his gig. So here we go. Very first thing I'm going to do is when I do these, I'm going to take a look at the profile itself. So here is a photo. Now, I know this person on Facebook, and this is not the person, or at least I don't believe it is. It actually looks like a stock photo of a model or something like that. So number one, always have a photo of yourself. So that's what I would say, is make sure it's a photo of yourself. And if you don't want it to be a photo, because for whatever reason, I would say go to graphic design here on Fiverr, go to cartoons and caricatures, and have one of these artists for, $5 or $10 turn you into a caricature. So maybe you would give it to this artist who would make your photo into this type of cartoon portrait, which then you could use on your profile. So that would be acceptable as well. Okay, so the next thing I will do is I'll come down here and the description. Now this goes for everything, every gig that I describe. I'm going to say this once and I'll say this all in every single video. Make sure your description on your profile page and in your actual gig description are grammatically correct. Spelling is perfect. The punctuation is good. Sentence structure is good, etc. Because as a small business owner myself and knowing a lot of small business owners, and that's who the target audience here is for this person. Unfortunately, whether it's fair or not, I hate to say it, but someone if comes in and sees a poorly constructed, grammatically incorrect description or gig description, they may be turned off. And so I always say that your gig description and your overall description should be perfect as it can be. So if English is your second language, or you don't like to write, or you're not a good writer, I would suggest writing it yourself, your description and your gig description, and then go to Fiverr and go to writing and translation and have someone proof it and edit it so that it reads well. Okay, so that's what I would say here. Now let me go over to, I'm not going to do all of these, but I will go to his bestseller. So I will build a modern business card, corporate and social. Okay, so the first thing I would do is change this structure right here, because again, it's the grammar and sentence structure isn't quite right. So I would say I will create, because you don't necessarily build a business card. I will create, or better yet, I will design a modern business card for your corporate or social needs, or just I will design a modern business card, period. Something along those lines. Social, I don't know of many people who have a social business card. So maybe you just want to put, I will design a modern business card for your company, or whatever it might be. So that's that. Go over down here. I would say that positivity rating 94 isn't bad, but I think that should come up. And for this specific seller, I would suggest that you do whatever you can in your next 20 gigs. Make sure you get a 5-star review. Try to up that as much as you can. And when you deliver your service, you should be saying, please give me a 5-star review. Make sure you ask for a 5-star review. Okay, so let's go compare packages. I'm not going to really critique this because I looked at it before and I think all of this is fine. It's easy to understand. You know what you're going to get at each of these price points. So I think that this is very easy. And right here, in terms of grammatically correct, etc., this is supposed to be in bullet point format. So it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'll say that this looks good. This, I believe, is from the first page that we just saw. So again, yeah, it just goes back to here. So let me go back. Okay, so now for the all important about this gig, this is the gig description. That's very important. Now, the best way, there's a couple of things you want to do. The first thing is you want to make sure that it's grammatically correct, as I mentioned before. So again, I would suggest to this seller to copy all of this and, write out the description and then send it to a proofreader, and then go ahead and have the proofreader change it so that you know that the gig description is grammatically correct. Then what you want to do is you want to make sure that the description is easy to read. Right now, I don't think this is a very easy to read. It's not pleasant to my eyes. There's a lot of yellow. There's a whole paragraph in bold. Things aren't quite aligned right. The use of arrows. So I would suggest, and not to toot my own horn, but let me jump over to, oops, not that. Let me jump over to, I had mine here somewhere. Oh, here it is. To my gig. So this is my gig. I will create a professional spokesperson video. And you go down and you can see here, I have bold highlighting here, but I use bold strategically. I use it to highlight each section. So a person can come in and quickly get an idea of it looks pleasing on the eye, and they know what they're going to be reading because I have headers to each section. The other thing is I highlight certain important points that I wanted to. In this case, it's just one, a free 30-minute phone or Skype video marketing consultation for orders over $100. So you can see how this looks pleasing to the eye. It makes sense. It's structured well. When I jump back to this Fiverr seller, you can see kind of how it's the use of highlighting and arrows and everything else. I would consider that the person go out and either model my description or another description like this so that it's more pleasing to the eye. Okay, so let me go through this. And the first thing I'll say is this first paragraph, he has the right idea. You want to say, if you're looking for a whatever, then you've come to the right place. I have that. If you look at my gig, do you need a spokesperson for your site? If so, you're in the right place. This one, if you read it, if you're looking for a high quality, super quick, it goes on, you're in the right place. But doesn't answer the question, I'm in the right place for what? Even though up here, I know it's business cards, you want to have something, if you're looking for a high quality, modern looking business card, you've come to the right place. And then I would say this, you want to make Fiverr personal. The person who's ordering wants to know who they're buying from. So put something like, hi, in this case, I'm Ron, a professional spokesperson, and I create engaging videos for businesses like yours. You might want to put, hi, my name is whatever your name is. I design high quality, superb business cards, hassle-free, whatever, it might be, but you want to introduce yourself and then say, what you'll get for this gig. Keep that bold. And I would turn these, instead of bullet points, I would turn this into, simple, or you can have bullet points, but just make sure I would get rid of the arrows. So you would want to obviously tell the customer what they're going to get. This looks good. So I would say this, it says, please send the following details. I would take this out of here and include it on the buyer instruction page. So that's what I would do. I would take that out, put it on the buyer instruction page, and maybe add a little bit more detail about, some things about this specific gig. And again, you would have to do that on your own because you know your service better than I do. But take that out and make it a little bit more about the gig, or just take it out and just keep the top part and then this bottom part. And again, make sure that it, you have it proofread. So I would say that's my biggest critique of this specific area. And I know the person who messaged me said that he's been seeing a lack in sales. Some of it could be because of the things I just mentioned. Also, make sure Fiverr has an algorithm of where you show up in search. So make sure you get this positivity rating high. You want it to be 97, 98, 99%. Average response time is fine. Make sure when you respond to your orders that you do it within 24 hours. So let me show you, if I go here to my messages, let's give us, oops, there we go. So if I go into my messages, you'll see that my response rate is 96%. So it says you responded to 96% of the inquiries you received in the last 30 days. Your average response time is 9 hours. Now I could do better at that, so he's got me beat there. But I don't know what on your side, the person I'm critiquing, I don't know what yours is, but this affects where you show up in search. So if you're down in the 50% or anything below 90, I talked to Fiverr, anything below 90 is going to hurt where you are in search. Also, make sure that you're responding, make sure that you have good, your response time is good. Now, yours is great. Yours is 5 hours compared to mine, 9 hours. So, but anyway, I think that that's about it. Those are some of what I would suggest in terms of how to improve your sales, how to improve your page. And the last thing I'll mention is get a video. You need a video here. I think you had a video on your other page, but it was a robotic sounding voice. What I would do is do the very same thing you did there, but get a professional voiceover artist. And I recommend this guy. His name is Irish Guy 1. I know him personally. He went to he grew up in the same town I grew up in. So Irish Guy 1, $5, he'll record 75 words. So 75 words. So for about $10, you can have 150 word, 1 minute voiceover for $10. Not bad at all. It's well worth the investment, but you definitely need a video with a professional voiceover. And it could say something like, "Hi, I'd like you to meet, I'm good, Aberranman." Let's just use Aber. Let's say if your short name is Aber. "Hi, meet Aber. He is a professional designer with 5 years of experience. He has done X, Y, and Z. He's been a Fiverr seller for this many years. If you want a professionally designed card, he's the person that you're looking for. Take a look at these examples." And then in the video, show examples and then say, "This is offered exclusively on Fiverr.com. Thanks for watching. Click the order button," whatever it might be. So anyway, that's it. I'm running long at 12 minutes. I have to figure out a way to get these shorter, but I think for the first time, this isn't bad. And if you have any questions at all, and if you want me to critique your specific gig, description, etc., then go ahead and email me at ron@rondesi.com. Again, that's ron@rondesi.com. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video.